Hi, you guys. Welcome to our team call tonight. One thing that I have been wanting to start doing is request that the newest diamond or the new diamonds host a call for us, because I think sometimes what you often hear from me or other like star diamonds on the team, and sometimes it's nice to hear from someone who just went diamond, how they built their business and some of their top tips. So tonight we have Melody on our team call. She is one of Leah Spolstra's coaches, and she's been coaching since October, I want to say, but only really fully coaching since December, and was able to hit diamond in April. So I invited her to come join us tonight and share her knowledge, whatever she feels like sharing with us tonight about how she's built her business and her top tips for us. So I will pass it on over to you, Melody.
Okay, hi ladies. So just a little introduction about myself. I am a military spouse. I have two sweet little boys, and I would say my avatar for my coaching and just reaching out to people is that I am a C-section mom. That's kind of my thing. And I feel like the big thing that led me to Beachbody was I just had my second son. I'm currently 10 months postpartum. And shortly after I had him, I was like, okay, I gained all this baby weight. I was still recovering from a C-section, and I was just ready to kind of just step out of my comfort zone, because the first time around I kind of yo-yoed a bit. I did some running, but I wasn't fully in nutrition. It was just kind of all over the place. And I didn't want that to be the second time around with my postpartum journey. So my coach reached out to me, and I was already kind of sharing my journey. Before I had kids, I thought, okay, I'm going to have a fit pregnancy. I went to the gym. I took a couple selfies, with me and my baby bump, but I fell off the wagon so fast and gave into all of my cravings. So I was already sharing, I wouldn't say like health and fitness side of things, but I was sharing just kind of like my pregnancy. I really loved, showing the milestones of, my growing bump and just the struggles of pregnancy. And so when my coach reached out to me when I was around 6 months postpartum, 6 weeks postpartum, she's like, I really think you would be an awesome coach. Because in the beginning, I thought, okay, I'm going to just start 21 Day Fix and give it a go. And I thought, okay, I need to get results first. That was the first thing. I was very skeptical coming in. I thought, okay, I really don't need Shakeology. And what is Shakeology? Why is it so expensive? Like, I had all of these like thoughts in my mind that I was doing all the wrong, the things that, you're not ideal customer would do. I, would kind of put my coach to the side, and eventually it kind of just like hit me over the head. I'm like, okay, I got to just do the dang thing, basically. So I signed up as a discount coach. My journey is a little bit different because I really wanted to coach in the beginning, but started off as discount coaching because I had a very skeptical husband. And I don't know if anyone else is the same way when it came to starting out with your Beachbody coaching journey. He was supportive of my workouts and my fitness journey, but when it came to the coaching side of things, he thought it was a scam. He wasn't really sure about the business. And he's like, okay, well, if you're really consistent with working out and, growing a following, I guess, then you can start coaching January 1st, which to me is like, okay, I'm going to prove to him that I'm going to get results, and I am going to show up every single day and just share this with other people. So that's what I did from when I started September to December. I shared my journey. I actually created a like page, which you would think is crazy because you do not know how hard it was for me to not like post a call to action to have someone join, my group or something like that. Because I wasn't hosting any groups as far as challenge groups go, but I was hosting clean eating groups. I did ask my coach, it's like, okay, what can I do in the meantime to kind of like, go around my husband, but still be legal? And, what can I do? So I would run free clean eating groups and get ladies plugged into that. And then I would just, after, they were done, I would just have a conversation with them and just grow these relationships. And then I started to, as I was growing that, I would guess following, once December rolled around, and if you know anything about the last 2 weeks of December, is that if you make any sales, that rolls over into January. So he's like, okay, you can do the end of December. So I was like, okay, rock and roll. I remember to this date, it was December 28th. I will never forget it because I signed, like right when I woke up that morning, I signed my husband up, and then I had my first coach, Eva, who's actually on this call right now, sign up. And that was the moment where I hit Emerald right off the bat on the first day that I became full-time coach. And it was just so empowering. And then I started signing my challengers up. And in that first month, I hit Success Club 16. And that was so, like, I felt like I was at this all-time high of what Beachbody was, and just really dipping my toes into it because I really, truly didn't know, what I was really getting myself into in a good way, until I actually started signing on challengers and actually working the business. And so I was, keeping up with my challenge group the first month, staying consistent. And then I kind of started noticing a little bit of a decline, that I kind of got comfortable with, the thought of, okay, I hit Success Club 5 in my second month in February. And I thought, okay, I've already hit Success Club 5. I don't really need to do a whole lot of work. And this is something that I really think is important that I want to bring up with you guys, because I don't know if, there's other coaches that probably have this moment. And it was kind of like my aha moment. And I had this moment of kind of like breakdown. And I noticed that I was putting too much. It's so easy to get comfortable in the business. I was getting too much into certain things, as far as I was putting my time in places that in my business that I shouldn't have. So like focusing more on my posts or my graphics, like the things that you can do like in between, but I wasn't really fully practicing the vitals. So when I had this aha moment, I actually reached out to both my coach and Jess. And I know this doesn't sound like, your typical like, growing journey, but I had a moment where I'm like, okay, what's going to happen if I quit? I had a moment where I'm like, it feels like my marriage is falling apart. My husband says that I'm on my phone all the time. And, when my kid is talking to me, I kind of basically like shut him out because I was so focused in on Beachbody. And the thing that really stood out to me that Jess told me, she's like, okay, this business is totally doable and you don't even need that many hours in a day. What are you doing in those times that you are working your business? Are you working smarter versus harder? And that really hit home to me, is work smarter and not harder. And I felt like I was working a lot harder than what I should have been, and I was working in the wrong places. So something that I wanted to bring up to you guys is that this quote that really stood out to me, and I've been sharing it these past couple weeks, and it was actually in one of the corporate calls that I was able to be a part of, and it said, your why has to be greater than your knockout, greater than defeat, and if your why is not strong enough, you're going to get knocked down every single time. And I felt like that moment where I wanted to quit, that was my knockout, but I really didn't realize what my why was. And I didn't set goals for myself. I wasn't practicing the vitals. It was so easy getting comfortable and staying in that zone that, I kind of fell. And I'm so glad, like looking back now, that I did have that moment, because I'm not a quitter. And having that moment as like, okay, this is an aha moment. I have some big goals. And if that is what I had to go through in order to realize, the bigger picture, I think everyone's going to have to go through that. And some tips that I really want to share with you guys that have really helped me just kind of grow in my business. Like I mentioned, I hit Emerald on December 28th, and I just hit Diamond in April. So roughly around 3.5 months, you guys. So I definitely feel like consistency, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, is going to be key in this business. So as I'm looking at my notes, I have a couple points that I really want to share with you guys. Like, every team call, we're going to go back to the basics. And that was something that I was not practicing. I wasn't doing personal development. I had all these books, but actually setting time to read it every single day, like I brushed it aside. So I definitely feel like, if you have a moment to go and check Facebook for 10 minutes, and I know we all have at least 10 minutes in our day, whether it's, checking social media or maybe watching something on Netflix, whether regardless, like we tell our challengers all the time, like if you have enough time to scroll Facebook, you have enough time to get a workout in. And I feel like that's the same way for personal development. So I made sure to set an alarm, and it was starting out, it was only 10 minutes. I've actually worked up to 15 minutes. And then sometimes if I really just love my book, I'll read a chapter and not even worry about setting a timer. But I definitely feel like setting a timer is going to, like, basically you're penciling it into your schedule. You're the boss. This is something that the boss has to do. And 10 minutes is so doable, you guys. And then once you're done with that 10 minutes or 15 minutes, you can move on to the next thing, but then you get it done. And I definitely feel like, I don't know if anyone else is the same, but having that structure of 10 minutes, and don't even look at your phone or the timer, just get lost in your book. And I definitely feel like personal development has made such a huge difference when it comes to my posts and just sharing my journey, because I can take and reflect on what that personal development I read and be able to connect it with my own life. And I definitely feel like being vulnerable and sharing more of the realness of you and how, you have been able to overcome certain things, it's going to be able to connect to your tribe and the people that you're trying to target. Being the product of the product. In the beginning, like I told you guys, I wasn't sure about Shakeology. I didn't want to spend the money. I did purchase a challenge pack. I tried it out, and I just went for it. My husband's like, okay, well, if you're going to do it, go all in. You're not a quitter, kind of thing. But now, like, being able to say, okay, I am making enough to pay for my Shakeology and help 3 people, and telling my husband that I'm doing this on my own and we don't have to take it out of our own bank account, and proving that this is working for me and working for my challengers. That is something that I'm just so blessed with. And then inviting, like that is like, that should have been the number one thing I should have brought up. But just being consistent with your invites. And it doesn't even have to, like, you don't have to go up, message someone and be like, hey, do you want to join my challenge group? It's just starting a conversation. And normally when I start conversations, I don't even go in with a sale in mind. I've actually been chatting with a girl that just signed up as my challenger, and I've been chatting with her for 3 months now. And she finally pulled the trigger. And I know it took a while, but sometimes it takes, everyone's going to, join or jump in or start something at their own time. And it's just being there for that person and being there to support them, having the right tools. inviting them to clean eating groups if they're not ready for a challenge group, or hosting a 2-week free coaching group, just being there and letting them know like, hey, if you have any questions, I'm there for you. And just letting them know that the big thing for my challengers, and when I have people sign up with me for challenge groups, is that I really make it known that if you are going to sign up for Beachbody On Demand All Access Challenge Pack, you get me for a whole year. Even if you don't continue in a challenge group, if you can't afford Shakeology, whatever their, reason may be, they still have Beachbody On Demand for a whole year. You're still their coach. So being able to still check in with them and seeing how they're doing, who knows, maybe they will join a challenge group when it's the right time again, or purchase another product from you. And just having that genuine connection with them, and having that just one-on-one with them can make such a big difference, because then that person's going to be like, okay, that person really touched my life, and they're going to share it with other people. And that one, you never know that one invite may turn into like several other invites because of a referral and someone recommending you. Another thing that really has helped me just grow, I guess, as a coach, is to put away all distractions. And I definitely feel like, of course, I'm going to have my phone during my power hour and my computer, but making sure that the TV is off, and working, like I'm a mom, so working when my boys are napping or going to bed, or waking up early and getting it done when it's nice and quiet, and just making sure that nothing will distract you. And I definitely feel like one of the distractions that I faced in the beginning of my coaching journey is that I just wanted to be like all the top coaches in the top 10. And so I would go on Instagram, and I don't know if anyone else is guilty of this, but I would follow all the top coaches. And after a while, I was kind of getting this like sense of like, oh my goodness, I have to be like, 5-star by tomorrow because this person is just, so inspiring. And I was comparing myself to these top coaches, and it was kind of stressing me out. And I think that kind of fed into my breaking point, because I was trying so much to be like these other people. And I like had to realize that like they're on their own journey. I am on my own journey. And the one thing that I did with the distractions was I unfollowed them. I know that sounds a little harsh, but I had to put my blinders on and make sure that I was focusing on me and being my own individual self, and just being genuine. And I definitely felt like seeing those other top coaches posts and seeing their success, it really brought me down, because like I was playing the comparison game, but you can't compare yourself to other people. And your journey is not going to be the same as other people. And that's what makes your journey your journey. It's yours. No one else can claim that. And it was just so great being able to cut that one big distraction. From time to time, I still, check in with some of the top coaches and just kind of get some tips and see what they're doing, and checking their Insta stories and seeing if there's anything that I can, take and implement. But I definitely felt like that was a big, big key in my business. Another thing that I really has helped me with my power hours is setting timers, which I actually found this app for. So for those of you that have iPhones, I don't know if Android has this, but there is this app called Multi-Timer. It does cost money. I think it's like $4.99 for like the full bundle. But you can set multiple timers. Like you can have your full power hour like on your whole screen, and you can start it, and then we'll have like, okay, you're doing, your invites for 10 minutes, and then you move on to the next one. So that definitely helped me being specific with having those timers. Before I found this, I was following along with the recorded video that we did for our Team Power Hour, and that definitely helped. I felt like boost just my consistency and momentum in order to get my invites out and just be consistent. And I definitely feel like another key point in our businesses is having a vision. And we need to be able to set goals. And that was something I did not do in the beginning. And now as I'm growing, I'm setting different goals. I had some in the beginning, but not as big as I have now. And I actually sat down and thought of them. Think of your why. Think of what you want to accomplish as a coach, and think of weekly goals. You don't have to just set a one-time goal or a yearly goal. Break it out. Set a goal for yourself for this week. Maybe set a couple of them. Set a monthly goal. Maybe it's Success Club. And something that I want to point out is just because you hit Success Club doesn't mean you don't stop hustling and you don't stop pushing. Because I definitely feel like once you hit it and you think, okay, I got the free t-shirt, I'm in the clear. But no, if you want to grow your business, you're going to want to shoot for higher Success Club goals. Shoot for Success Club 10, and so forth. And that can be a monthly goal or a weekly goal. Hey, why not hit Success Club in the first week of the month, right? And then yearly goals. So set a long-term goal. What rank do you want to be by the end of this year? Do you want to be able to pay off a car loan? Set specific goals for yourself. If you the example of bringing up a car loan, how much is your car loan? How much do you have left? How much could you pay off every single month and work towards to reach that end year goal? So be specific. Be specific with your rank goal. If you want to hit, 4-star or 5-star, set a date, or a diamond, whatever rank. Set a date. Be specific. Push yourself to that date, because I definitely guarantee it that it will definitely make you work harder in your business. Another thing that when Jess was telling me work harder or work smarter, not harder, that was definitely, for me, that was setting specific business hours for myself, because I constantly found myself on my phone all day, every day, and I was getting burned out. I wasn't taking a break, and I felt mentally exhausted, and you can only imagine how physically exhausted I was because I wasn't getting enough sleep, because I would be staying up, late working on work. So definitely setting those specific business hours. So kind of just to give you an idea of what I've been able to do with my daily life. So I have 2 little boys. I have a 2-year-old and a 10-month-old, and life can be crazy sometimes, but I don't want, the reason why I became a coach is I want to continue to stay at home with my boys. So I want to be there during the day with them. So I've actually started, now that my baby's starting to sleep through the night, I have been pushing my hardest to get out of my comfort zone and wake up an hour or 2 hours earlier than I normally do, because I have some high goals set for myself by the end of this year that I will not be able to accomplish unless I add an extra hour in my day, or maybe an extra couple hours. So definitely starting the day off right, taking the pre-workout, getting my personal development in, pressing play, and then working maybe an hour or 2 before my boys wake up. And then I put the distractions away. I put my phone off. I actually put all of my Facebook notifications on silent, so you can still see the little pop-up bar, how many messages you have, but they don't come to my phone. So I'm sorry, coaches, my personally sponsored coaches. That's why I'm a little delayed sometimes during the day, but I definitely get back to all of you because I want to be there for my family. I want to be there for my boys. And I will it doesn't mean I don't check my phone. So when I do go and check, I'll still continue with my conversations throughout the day and checking in with my challengers and, doing a little bit of that as I go. But I'm really working hard at not being specifically unplugged by powering my phone down, but that was my way of setting that boundary with my phone, because I definitely felt like I was glued to my messages because I just wanted to get my inbox cleared out, but then more messages were coming and then I would clear them out again. And it was just kind of an ongoing thing. And I'm definitely a list person, and I definitely felt like going through my inbox was like kind of checking off the list, and I'm like, okay, next person. And it was kind of just like, overwhelming. So, working in the beginning, putting my phone away, putting, those notifications on silent doesn't mean you won't get back to them, but it just means that you're setting that healthy boundary to, be able to go and be with your family or go and work. I know a lot of you ladies probably have a full-time job or a part-time job that you don't have to worry about that. But maybe it's distracting you from getting your actual, physical job done. And then during nap time, I do my nap time hustle. So I'll do a power hour. And, if I didn't get my workout in that day, I'll make sure to get my workout in during nap time, or even in the evening when my boys go down for bed. With the consistency, I've definitely noticed that when it comes to being consistent with your workouts, you can definitely tell if you are staying consistent in your business. And the third month of coaching, full-time actively coaching, that was the first month that I did not hit Success Club. And I am owning that because it was on me. And I noticed that with that month, and I actually looked back on the Challenge Tracker app, I wasn't really fully invested in my workouts. I wasn't fully invested in my journey. I don't know if anyone's the same way with 80 Day Obsession. I loved the results, but it just wasn't for me. That's all I'm going to say about 80 Day Obsession. But you're going to find some workouts, workout programs don't work out, and some are your soulmate programs. And it just I noticed that when I was falling off track and not sticking to my meal plan or skipping a workout or definitely skipping a Shakeology, I definitely noticed when I was not drinking that, my body definitely noticed that. And I felt like that played a huge role in my business because I wasn't being the product of the product. And I wasn't sharing my journey. I was, but I wasn't. And I definitely felt like if I would have been more invested in getting my own results, I felt like my challengers and my coaches would have gotten Melody times 100 kind of thing. So I definitely felt like, first off, focusing on myself and, put yourself in that shoes. You want to focus first on your journey. And this was said in a Shred Nation call-in. I keep repeating it to other people, is that the key to all of this is you got to get results first, because you are the product. You are proving that the products work. And then you have to help other people get results. And then you're helping other people help other people. And that's what we do as coaches. And so if you're not fully invested in your workouts and drinking your Shakeology and consistently showing up every day on the health and fitness side of things, then we really don't have a business. And we're health and fitness coaches. So if we're not doing the health and fitness part, then what are we doing? So I definitely felt like having, being in my own journey definitely made such a huge role, especially with the Success Club. And with this last month, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I hit Success Club 10. And that was the month after I didn't hit Success Club. And I definitely felt like it being fully invested in my workouts and diving back into my nutrition and showing up every day and showing that I can do this, and, inspiring other people can do that, definitely played a huge role in not only ranking to diamond, but just, pushing myself in Success Club, and pushing my coaches too. So just kind of to wrap it up is, I wrote the words "do it" on here, and I'm trying to remember what my notes were, but I would just say the biggest advice is just keep going. Know your why, and remember that your why has to be greater than your knockout. So we're going to get knocked down every single day. It's the business. It's going to happen. And we're going to have people tell us no over and over and over again. And I felt like with my cold market, because that played a huge role, and that's kind of where I've pushed a little towards more, is that they don't know you, and building those relationships is going to be the key first off. And then it's, inviting. So just keep going. And if someone tells you no, it's taking me a while to actually get to this point, but now it's like, okay, they're not ready. They're not ready for all this yet. And that's okay. And I've learned to accept that. And I've had several people that have jumped in and they just said, okay, it's not for me. And, you never know. I let them know. I don't take it personally, because just remember, it's not you as a coach. If you're doing, all that you should be doing, and, pouring your heart into your clients and your coaches, that that by the end of the day, it's not you. It's just they are not ready yet. So keep on pushing, and let that why and be greater than your defeat. And I definitely feel like it's so easy to, fall down when we're told no. And in the beginning, it was just so discouraging, but now it's like, okay, they're not ready right now, but I'm going to follow up with them. And maybe they'll be ready next month, or maybe it will be a year. I know I've heard several people say that, people that I've talked to, and then, it's been a while, they kind of lost touch, are now just reconnecting because you planted that seed. So it's all about planting seeds and just being there for them, and having your free groups, and having the tools, and just consistently bettering yourself as a coach. I definitely feel like in my business, I'm a self-starter. I kind of just love to research and learn my own thing. And I definitely feel like I know personalities are all different, but if you're, wanting to grow your business and want to learn a little bit more, Google's your friend, YouTube's your friend, Pinterest. There are so many different things that you can tap into. Our Fearlessly Fit team page, if you go to the file section, there are so many different things that you can read up on. Your coach office has so many trainings that you can, and answers. And I definitely feel like sometimes on our team pages, we constantly have all these questions that we're kind of asked over and over again. And with that self-starter, I would go, there is a search button bar in our team page, and I'll just go and search something if I have a question, and then think, okay, is this something that I can search and play around a little bit with it, and see if if it's something that I can figure out on my own. And if not, then I reach out to my Fit Fam. But I definitely feel like kind of just taking the ropes and diving in and learning yourself, and having a success partner, and success pods. I definitely feel like that helps push you a little bit harder, keeps you consistent, and just keeping up, for those that have coaches, just keep pushing your coaches and encouraging them, because that is the biggest thing for me. I told my coaches, and I know a few of them are on here, but my biggest goal for them is for them to outrank me. And they're like, oh my goodness, Melody, that's just, that sounds so silly, because you're such an awesome, like, not trying to toot, but they're like, you're such an awesome coach. Like, why would I want to do that? But no, like, seriously, if you are doing your job, why wouldn't you want your coaches to outrank you and be more successful than you? Because then you've done your job right as a coach and you set them up for success. And I definitely feel like that is huge and plays such a huge role in this business. So that's all I have for you ladies. I am just so blessed that I was able to chat with you guys tonight, and I'm open for any questions. If anyone has any questions, I am an open book. So shoot.
That was amazing. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself or type them in the comments. So Leah always says you're the queen of cold market. So my question is, is there anything specific that you've done to help break into your cold market? Was there anything that you didn't do? I mean, what are your tips?
Yes. So I bought Social Team Builder. That has been the big thing for my cold market. I actually found one of my coaches, my coach Samantha, through a Facebook ad. And as far as Instagram goes, I feel like a lot of my cold market has been through Instagram. And I still have not fully mastered, to be honest, the whole hashtag thing. But if I were searching for certain hashtags, I definitely am starting to research ones that don't pertain to what other coaches use, because it's just so easy. Like, I feel like we all use the same hashtags. So definitely niching down and figuring out, what you like most, like finding your avatar. I know this was touched base in Social Team Builder, which I definitely recommend. I don't know. I think the cutoff date, I don't know how long it is. I don't know if it's open anymore. But definitely just figuring out your ideal person and, attracting, like, I definitely felt like with my cold market, in the beginning of this year, I remember this on our team page, we posted like the first 9 photos of our Instagram, and just kind of like looked at it and like, okay, what's going on in these 9 photos? And I noticed that I was posting a lot of transformation and health and fitness photos, but you really didn't notice Melody. You didn't know who I was. You didn't know my family. And how would someone want to work with you, and especially cold market, if they're not seeing that true side of you and seeing your vulnerability? Because that's when they're going to be able to connect with you the most. Like Leah said, I created a C-section group, and I'm a part of a lot of local mom pages, and that's actually how I found a couple of my coaches as well, is through our military community. And I definitely feel like I know a lot of the group pages, they don't they don't allow selling, or because the local yard sale sites for that. But I was just in it to build relationships. Of course, we did have some moments where like, okay, let's share a little bit about what you do. And I took those as the opportunity. I'm like, okay, I'm going to share what I'm going to do. And I'm going to share, how much it has changed my life, because I know that, on this military base, I'm not the only coach, on here. So I definitely felt like plugging into that, to touch base on my C-section group. I created a group because I'm a C-section mom. I wanted to have a group that I could call my own, and it was more like niched. And so if for example, if you want to create a group that's like a boy mom group, or, if you're into horses, something like that, something other than health and fitness, that you can call your own and kind of take the reins and just build those relationships and get to know other people. And that was definitely something that helped with my cold market, because I was able to reach out to people that wanted to join this group, because they definitely could relate to it. And with the C-section group, it was, luckily I was able to actually tie in some health and fitness to it because I was able to go through my postpartum, recovery and start working out. So I was able to actually share that, but it was just being there for one another because that's truly what it is just building relationships with people. Any other questions?
Anyone else have any questions? No questions. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Melody. You killed it, and some really, really good information. So thank you so much for taking the time to prepare all of that for us and taking time out of your evening to speak for us. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
So I will let you guys all go and get back to your evening. We got done a little early, which is awesome. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I will post the recording in the team page. And if you guys have any questions for Melody that you think of later, feel free to post them on in there too. So I will see you guys later, and have a good night. Bye, you guys.